So, Joe Rogan, the man who's notoriously selective about his guest list, finally broke down and invited Donald Trump onto his podcast. And what could bring about this unprecedented union? A timely shooting, of course. Rogan, that champion of casual chaos, claimed the timing was just too good to pass up. Why? Because apparently, there's nothing like a bullet wound to make a former president appear more relatable. Rogan, known for turning down Trump like an enthusiastic bouncer rejecting fake IDs, quipped that the opportunity was now perfectly timed. Yes, that's right. After dodging all prior invites, it took a scar behind Trump's ear for Rogan to realize, wow, this guy really has something to say now. Trump's approach to the interview was nothing short of presidential performance art, calling the presidency a very dangerous business. And now, thanks to a recent rally shooting, he had a literal battle scar to prove it. Never one to miss an opportunity to add a bit of battlefield glamour to the presidency, Trump even showed Rogan the scar as if to say, "This, Joe, is what I call dedication." Cue Rogan's famously deep insight. It healed up pretty good. That's practically medical advice from Dr. Rogan himself. But hey, let's give credit where it's due. Trump is nothing if not resilient. After all, he managed to make a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania sound like an action-packed blockbuster where he's the lead. Just imagine the tagline, the 45th president back with a vengeance and a very carefully located wound. Now, Rogan's desire to have Vice President Kamala Harris on the show sounded almost sweet, if not delusionally optimistic. He mentioned wanting to have a fine conversation with her, where she might actually express herself. Is that an interview or therapy? Rogan seemed convinced that without any shouting, they could connect. Trump, ever the sports commentator, had his take. You're not a Kamala person, you're a Khabib person. Yes, because Harris's qualifications can clearly be assessed by her ability to go toe-to-toe with an MMA fighter. And to add a little suspense, Rogan hasn't secured Kamala yet. She's still a maybe. One wonders if the Secret Service has a bingo card for crazy podcast pitches they have to screen for her. Just picture it, Kamala lying on the studio floor after discussing UFOs, psychedelics, and the metaphysical implications of cage fighting. Rogan hit the nail on the head when he criticized debates for placing time limitations on complex ideas. But the solution he proposed. Why? A Rogan-style, unfiltered, multi-hour chat fest where nothing is off limits. Rogan envisions a scenario where Trump and Harris, both presumably dazed by the sheer lack of time constraints, sit down for a no-holds-barred, truly conversational experience. Imagine the uncut version. Hours upon hours of tangents ranging from policy to protein powders to, scar tissue care. At the end of the day, we're left with an exchange that redefines the phrase, anything goes. There's Rogan, proudly sporting his badge of nonpartisanship, Trump dropping unendorsed endorsements left and right, and Kamala as the theoretical guest of Rogan's dreams. It's not just an interview, it's a glimpse into the Rogan-Trump cinematic universe, where timing, scars, and mixed martial arts collide. If you've been enjoying this epic dive into Trump, Rogan, and their universe of bold moves, beautiful tariffs, and the hidden power of concrete, then you're in the right place. Here on this channel, we deliver the hot takes, the eyebrow-raising anecdotes, and the occasional wild conspiracy theory, minus the actual conspiracy. So, if you've ever wondered what really goes on in the minds of your favorite public figures, or just want a good laugh as we peel back the layers of the political circus, hit that subscribe button. And don't stop there. Tap the notification bell so you'll never miss a fresh upload. Trust us, you don't want to be the last one to know when we drop a new video dissecting the week's biggest you can't make this up moments. Subscribe, buckle up, and let's keep rolling. So where did we leave off? Right, Trump was basking in the glory days of being everyone's favorite Apprentice host. He describes how back then, the media couldn't get enough of him. Oprah, Whoopi, the folks on The View, all practically throwing rose petals at his feet. Fast forward a few years, and voila. He runs for president and suddenly he's persona non grata. Turns out, network loyalty only stretches so far when there are elections on the line. And while Trump was prepared to go from "you're fired" to "you're inaugurated," it appears he underestimated the nuanced elegance of politics. You see, he quickly discovered that Washington wasn't quite the New York business scene he was used to. Politicians here aren't exactly clamoring to get 5-star Yelp reviews on their policy decisions. Trump tells Rogan about appointing 10,000 people. Yes, 10,000. Imagine finding the right candidates when half of Washington is reportedly stiff or politically indoctrinated. But hey, at least he brought some of his boldest corporate moves to DC, and by boldest, we mean he trusted his gut, his friends, and maybe the occasional poker-playing mogul to help him make some major decisions. And if his tale of walking down Pennsylvania Avenue isn't pure American mythos, I don't know what is. Picture it, driving by his own Trump hotel, nearly lost in a fog of self-admiration, feeling that love was so crazy that he simply had to get out and take a little stroll down the avenue. It's hard to resist a motorcade moment when you're already feeling like the protagonist of an all-American blockbuster. On environmental policy, Trump waxes poetic on his deep experience with trees. He's lived through serious forest fires and swears by a good forest raking, a management strategy so controversial. It's shocking Smokey Bear didn't veto it. And water shortages? He's got those covered too. Apparently, California's droughts can be solved by unleashing hidden reserves from some mysteriously rerouted lakes. A clever move, really. Why pay for expensive water management when nature can be quite literally redirected? But wait, the environmental epiphanies don't stop there. We also have his hot takes on bird-killing wind turbines, the true nemesis of renewable energy. His message? Go nuclear like the French. After all, when you've got concrete technology harder than steel, why let minor setbacks like environmental regulations get in the way of progress? Finally, we arrive at his views on economic policies, especially tariffs. To Trump, tariffs are more beautiful than love itself, apparently more potent than Cupid's own arrow. He dreams of a world where America funds its entire infrastructure off tariff revenue alone. No income tax, just a bounty of duties on foreign goods. The most beautiful word in the dictionary. In the end, this Trump-Rogan interview might as well be a time capsule of his ideals. It's like 1 part self-portrait, 2 parts historical flex, and 3 parts commentary on how the swamp doesn't know what it's missing. As for what's next, who can say? But one thing's for sure, he'll be back with new metaphors, a fresh round of anecdotes, and maybe even another story about someone else who tried to talk him out of greatness. And isn't that, in his own wild way, what American podcasting is all about?